Hi, Weldon, Get Person with Finance. Today I'm excited to share with you another model I created, and it is the easiest model in my opinion for you to understand financial planning and for you to make better financial decisions. So let's get started. So when it comes to making important financial decisions, when it comes to the formal word is financial planning, you're probably thinking, boy, do I need to hire a professional? Where do I start? How do I, lay it all out? What is the landscape? What does the roadmap kind of look like? And so the model that I created, it's the responsibility and wealth model for financial planning. That's what I'm calling it. It really, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to making important financial decisions into the future, when you're making plans, there are two things that you need to understand is one, what are your responsibilities? And how do you build your wealth over time? Because that's it. Because what worries us when it comes to our own personal finances is our responsibility. What are we responsible for? If something were to happen to us, what happens to those responsibilities? And how do we make sure that we have something to look forward to? And that is, will we have enough savings? Will we have enough assets? So let's take a look at this model that I put together. And so this model is simply, think of it as also a timeline as well too. So we all start where we are right now, right? This is when we're younger, and then we plan when we get older. So part of this model is the first thing that we want to understand is what are our responsibilities. And it's simply put, our responsibilities are the things that I guess motivates us or gets us to work hard, right? And what are those responsibilities that we need to account for, that we need to identify and know, right? So the first one is our first responsibilities when we're younger is what? Is our income, our active income, because we work, that's how we make money. Another responsibility is debt, right? So our student loans, our credit card loans, our mortgage, our business loan, whatever debt that we have, right? So that's another important responsibility. Another one that's, and these are the obvious ones that I list on there, is education. Our career is a big responsibility, right? Because, for example, my career as a financial planner, as a financial professional, if I don't do what I do and if I don't make income, then my family's gonna be in trouble, right? It's my career is a big part of my identity of who I am, and I wanna make sure that the responsibility of my career is being fulfilled. I'm very good at it. It's just something I have to account for, right? So, and same thing, family, I mentioned that. So, and there are many other things too you can add to this list, but it's important for us to begin when we start to do financial planning or plan into the future is we need to account what are our responsibilities, right? So that starts there. And you notice with the responsibility, it curves down. And that is because as we get older, what's the idea? As we get older, we should have less responsibilities, right? And so what does that mean? It means that being responsible as we get older, our income, our job, we don't have to report to somebody, we don't have to be responsible to a company, or for me, I'm responsible for my clients, I'm happily retired. I would have less responsibility because I'm in retirement. I no longer teach, I don't have to do continuing education anymore, things like that. My debt, as I get older, my responsibility become lessened. Is why? Because I have no more debt, right? So you kind of see where that line goes over and it goes towards your future. And then my education is being, well, I don't need any more formal education, right? I'm done. And my career is basically set. My family is, hopefully the kids are out of the house, right? Or hopefully they'll move back in and you're now more responsible for them than you were ever before. So that leads into the other side of financial planning is wealth. Wealth building is the other key to reduce our responsibility. So the other thing that we have to be conscious of is when we're younger, we got to make sure that we're accumulating wealth. And what does that mean? It means that we're saving money, we are acquiring assets, equities. We have a savings account. We have our house paid off. We have rental property if that's something that you want to build as part of your portfolio. You have a successful business that you can sell or it's ongoing. Let's say you invest in a franchise, whatever those things are. So on the other side is the wealth curve, and it's important for us to make sure that that curve goes upward, right? As we get older, our responsibility should be lessened, right? And our wealth should be increased. So. And how does that work? So, for example, when we're younger, when we have our career, we're active, we have active income. For example, if I don't work, if I don't see clients, I'm not gonna make money. Obviously, I have reoccurring revenue, but let's not account for that. then I cannot make new income. So it would be wise of me when I'm younger is that I get to invest my savings into something that as I get older, I get additional income. That can be in real estate, right, which is very simple to understand because we get rental income and that supplements our active income. So for example, if I make $10,000 a year and by the time I retire, I hit my target of having enough assets, I have assets that generate me $10,000 of income, passive. Passive meaning you don't have to work for it. Active meaning you have to physically work to get that income. So I have enough passive income to offset or replace, that's the word, replace my responsibility of active income, then I'm done. Then that means that I'm free, I don't have to work actively anymore. So that's kind of the idea. So as I'm actively working, I'm saving towards accumulating assets, and those assets generate enough passive income that will replace my active income, and then I'm done. So that's called wealth building. And along the way, I'm increasing my savings. Along the way, I'm paying off my debt. So in like, let's say 20 years from now, 10 years from now, let's say you have $500,000 debt. Well, hopefully by then your debt goes down, right, to zero. And assets minus liabilities equal net worth. So if your asset is here and your debt is here, but it's now your debt is lower, guess what? Your net worth goes up. Same thing, if you keep your debt the same, but your wealth increases, guess what? Your net worth goes up. So kind of the same concept here is that in planning is that you have to consciously think about, gosh, for me to retire, I need to make sure that I have savings to look forward to. I have equities, I have assets, and again, I have something to look forward to, a lifestyle. I can look forward to my kids being out of the house. I look forward to paying off my mortgage. I look forward to not owing anybody any money. I look forward to having the freedom, the quality of life where I can move anywhere I want and not have to live in let's say, in this state, this city, this county. Let's say I want to live somewhere else, right? I have the freedom to do that, but I have to consciously plan. And then, I plan for that. And then obviously you have goals along the way and a to-do list, right? The doing part to make sure you achieve those goals. And so this model, as you can see, where your responsibility and wealth intersects, that's kind of where your future gets to be defined, right? Because we all start off when we have a lot of responsibilities, but when our wealth kind of catches up where it starts to offset our responsibility, that's kind of where your future starts to kind of come alive. And it's like that feeling when you pay off your first car loan or when you're done with school, and then now your income is starting to tick up, and then you're paying off your debt. That's that good feeling. And so that's where you really start to have control over your finances, have a better vision or more clarity towards your future. There's that saying that goes, a car can only see about 100 feet away. So when it comes to planning, think of it as like our car, right? Our car in pitch darkness, our car headlights can only see in the dark about, don't quote me on this, let's say 50 feet or 100 feet. But how is it that car can allow us to travel hundreds of miles in pitch darkness? Well, because it's very simple, even though the headlight can only see that distance, but if we go 100 feet or 50 feet, we get to see another 50 feet, we get to see another 100 feet, we can see and reach our destination. So it's kind of this model allows us to kind of see that, right? It's the idea that, like when we wake up every day, we don't have a purpose, or you get into your car, but you don't know where to go. That's kind of sad, right? So it's like a sailboat, another analogy, like a sailboat, and you're powered by the wind. And that's great and all when there's a lot of wind, but you don't have a destination, then you're just kind of going around in circles. So this financial planning model is really important to understand because, again, it boils down to your responsibilities now and what do you want your responsibilities to be in the future? Well, you want to have less responsibilities, and you want to make sure that you're conscious of making sure that you can build wealth, because if you don't have wealth to look forward to, then again, your finances is not going to be good. You don't have much to look forward to. So going back, and that's the key there, is for your future, a lot of people misunderstand the word retirement. And I deal with this a lot because I'm a certified financial planner and I've been doing this for over 15 years. Is that people, when you generally ask, and like for example, you can ask your friends, your family member, when do they want to retire? They would generally give you an age. They would tell you, oh, I plan on retiring at the age of 66 when they collect their Social Security, or 62 when they collect early Social Security, or 70. It has something to do around Social Security, Medicare, or some age. That is one of the biggest, in my opinion, misconception, or they have their planning completely wrong. And it's important for, if you're watching this and you're younger, it's important to know this. Retirement is not about age. It's all about how much assets, how much equity you have, how much passive income you have. So it's not age. You don't need to wait until you're 60 something or 50 something. You don't need to have an age target. You need to have a savings, a wealth accumulation target. So for example, let's say for me to retire, I have about $5,000 of fixed expenses and then another $5,000 of lifestyle expenses. And so I need basically $10,000 a month for me to really enjoy my quality of life, to have a great quality of life. Well, I don't have to wait until I'm 60 something to do that. If I'm purposefully making a good financial plan, I'm saving, I'm working hard, I'm investing in myself, acquiring more skills, I'm investing in assets, I'm investing in my career, then all of these things will compound basically that until the day that I can generate enough passive income from my investments, to put it simply, to pay me without working $10,000, I'm retired. That can be 10 years from now, that can be 5 years from now, that can be 15 years from now. It does not have to be until whatever age you are right now, until 30, 40 years from now, or that age target. So I think that's really important when it comes to financial planning at an early age, or when we start off, is to understand retirement. It's not about an age target, it's about an asset target. It's about how much passive income I can accumulate or can generate from my investments. That is it. For me to enough income to replace all of my expenses, then I'm done. I'm retired. I'm financially free. I'm free of a paycheck, an active paycheck that I have to make. I'm free of having to go to work every day because I have to, because I got to pay off debt. So this financial planning model is really important to understand. And again, I put down these main big concepts like savings and or factors, whatever you call it, but you could add yours. I mean, it's really important to understand that, again, what does your financial plan look like? What are you planning to do with your finances when you first get your paycheck, or as you make money? Where do you see your finances in the future? Do you see your future being where you have a lot of responsibilities as you get older? Or do you see where you have less responsibility as you get older? And do you see where you have very little savings and very little assets and a lot of debt? Or do you see yourself the opposite of that? You see a great quality of life. You see yourself really enjoying the fruits of your labor that you work hard to accumulate. So this is what it's all about. I do financial planning, and I help my clients. Where I position myself for my clients is that I tell my clients, look, you are the CEO, I'm your CFO. I'm here for you and your family to help you make informed decisions, to help you understand, be a guide for you. And this is a simple roadmap that I use. Actually, it's a lot more complex than this, but I was able to put it simply in this model for you to understand and for you to share with whoever that you think this would benefit. And one of the things, again, that I see in my career is, especially for young professionals, is for some reason, I guess they copy their parents, and they always think retirement is in their 60s. I said, no, it's not an age target. It's an asset, passive income, how much savings you've accumulated. That will define your retirement. And retirement doesn't mean you stop working. It just means that you get to choose how you want to work, who you want to work with. It gives you the option to work for free, to work when you want to. It doesn't mean you stop working. That's another misunderstanding as well too. Like, in a lot of my clients, they're not really retired. They end up doing something else. Like, they volunteer, they become the best parents they can be to their grandkids, and because now they have the time luxury. There's a lot anyways that we need to account for. So remember this: financial planning is planning so you can succeed. You probably heard the saying that people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. So this model is very important for people to at least now know coming in, because I know there are folks out there when they're struggling with their finances, what they would say is, Nobody ever taught them, nobody ever shared a roadmap or blueprint for them. Well, here's one for you, right? Here's a good start, especially if you're younger watching this. It gives you a great ability for you to have a good understanding and for you to take your finances more seriously and personalize the topic of finance to you. Personalize your finances so it makes sense to you. So again, you have things to look forward to and that it's not scary. It's really that simple. It's about being responsible. It's about caring for yourself, caring about your family, caring about the people around you and being responsible and making good decisions now into the future. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed making it and to put this model together for you. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.